Your voice, your opinion, your community. Fact TV, free speech protected.
Are you sick of looking at Netflix and you don't know what to watch?
So many movies out there, you don't know which ones are good, which ones were bad.
You curious about what's out there?
I'm Joey Powers.
I'm Don Trettler.
This is The Best Pictures.
The ones you don't want to miss.
Hit it.
Say hello to my little friend.
Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn.
Winners go home and prom queen.
English, motherfucker, do you speak it?
Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it.
I don't deserve this. Deserves got nothing to do with it. No sequel for you.
Hi, and welcome to another edition of The Best Pictures. I'm one of your hosts, Joey Powers.
Hey, and I'm Don Trettler. Welcome to the show.
It is our annual Christmas movies review show.
It's that time of year.
It is. Before we get into that, though, the winter meetings officially started today. I think they're in San Diego this year.
Oh, I wasn't aware where they are.
It's already been pretty hectic. There's been, especially being a Mets fan. Why don't you go ahead and talk about that?
Well, we got Justin Verlander, but we lost Jake DeGrom, who went to the Rangers. So I don't know. I guess it's kind of like a. To me, it's like an even trade. Though I really wanted to see them. Keep saying this. I wanted to see them sign Carlos Rodon, who's left-handed. So
you said it seemed more and more like DeGrom just wanted out of New York.
I think so, because I can't imagine why they wouldn't want to keep him. He's a homegrown guy.
He's been outstanding, when he's healthy. He's been absolutely
And the fans
unhittable.
love him.
Yeah, you said somebody's already wearing his jersey like pretty much every time.
Oh yeah.
Do you think it was he wanted to get out of he just wanted to go to a warmer climate, or do you think he was treated poorly by New York?
I haven't heard anything negative, so I think it might have to do with the warmer climate type of thing. Though I'd be very surprised. I would think a player would want to stay with his team that he was, drafted by and brought up by.
And they're competitive.
Yeah.
So I feel like Texas really isn't all that competitive right now.
No.
You said they are good at spending money, though. But at the same time, it's like why
they spend a lot of money.
If you're not going to win, you're spending it on the wrong people, apparently.
They got some of the top free agents last year, and I would bet they're probably not done this year. So we'll see.
And I had mentioned to you that Trey Turner signed an 11-year, $300 million contract with the Phillies,
which bothers me.
That's a huge signing for a team that was close to winning the World Series. That's.
And he's an excellent player.
Adds to a great lineup. The article I read did mention, Harper did have Tommy John surgery, so he might not be back till the All-Star break. But, he comes back healthy. Turner plays the way he did in Los Angeles. They're going to be a team worth, fighting for.
Right.
Especially in your division. It's just you already got the Braves.
So what do you think the Yanks are going to do?
I don't know.
They could bring Judge back. Keep him his face.
They should bring Judge back.
Right.
I personally, he's obviously the top priority, I feel, over anything else. I would really like to see him bring in Bogarts. I've always liked Xander Bogarts. I feel like he's getting a raw deal in Boston because I think his power numbers have declined over the last few years. But, he won the batting title. He's right up there in hits, runs scored, on base percentage, and he's a pretty decent shortstop, too, And it's like, the Sox kind of messed around with him. They're messing around with Devers. I still don't think they have a deal with Devers yet.
Right.
And I feel like that's the future. They got rid of Mookie Betts. It's like so I don't really know what the game plan is with the Red Sox, but they had a chance to make a deal with Bogarts, and it's passed. So he's a free agent. So
yeah,
I would definitely like to see him come in.
Do they need pitching?
Everybody always needs pitching. Nobody can ever have too much pitching.
Well, the Mets lost 3 of their 5 starters, so they were desperate. So now they got Verlander. Now they have 3 to start. They had a couple guys that could fill in as 4. They still are going to have to get somebody.
It's good because obviously, he just won his 3rd Cy Young?
Yeah.
But it's a short-term solution, obviously. If he's going to be, 39 or 40, you said, by the time the season starts?
I think it's only a 2-year contract with a 3rd-year option.
A lot of money $43 million a year. That's a lot of money. I mean, obviously starting pitchers are a premium, you know, I mean, so they get top dollar.
Well,
but
how much does Garrett Cole get?
I think he averages right around 30, a little over 31.
Yeah.
And his deal was for 10 years, I want to say. But well, what you guys gave
Max Scherzer.
Scherzer was
He got about $43 million a
kind
year.
of like the high standard now. That's what the going rate is. Because DeGrom, you said, got what, low 30s?
I think so. I think he got 35. He didn't get 43. I know that.
I mean, that's a lot of money for a guy that only plays 1 out of 5 days.
Right.
You know, and what if they get hurt?
And Scherzer was as good as you can get when he pitched, but he probably missed, I don't know, between 5 and 10 starts this year, I think.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, no, I mean, because you said he didn't have his stats weren't good enough to qualify, right, for like the final statistics?
yeah, I don't think he had enough. I mean, he probably was pretty close with ERA title. He didn't win 20 games, so he wasn't going
Right.
to get a Cy Young this year.
Right. But he has what? He has 2 or 3.
I think he's got 3
I
too.
think he has 3 too. So that's
He got 1 with the Tigers. So, and then I think he got 2 with Washington. I'm pretty sure he's got 3. DeGrom's got 2. Verlander's got 3.
It's
a lot.
a lot of winning right there. That's a lot of quality pitching, you know. I mean, how old is Scherzer?
I think he was 37 last year, so I think this year going in he'll be 38.
And what'd they give him? Was it 4 years?
I think it was a 3-year.
3.
3 years, $43 million. It's a lot of money. Can you imagine?
I know.
It's like you could play 1 year and retire.
But so the change to the actual programming. The weekend box office, Black Panther, Wakanda once again. Another dismal week for the box office. It was less than $60 million.
Yeah, did anything big open up this week? I don't think so.
I mean, Violent Night was, I think, the biggest that I saw. It opened at like 13.4, which was higher than expectations because going into the weekend, they had predicted that Black Panther was probably going to be the only double digit this weekend, and it ended up like 17.4, I want to say.
Yeah.
And actually, you know, when I looked at it on Saturday, Violent Night actually made more money on Friday than Black Panther did. So there was an outside chance that maybe that would take the weekend, but it didn't. But still, pretty respectable showing. And you said, what, 7.1 on IMDb?
Yeah, 7.1.
I think it's kind of terrible looking. Like, it just looks cheesy to me, you know? But, I mean, Alex definitely wants to go see it, he said. So, I don't know. Is that something you'd be interested in seeing?
I guess, I would go. I like David Harbour, and it looks like it could be interesting.
Have I seen anything with him?
Stranger Things.
Okay, yeah. All right, yeah, I've seen Stranger Things.
And I think he was in the remake of Hellboy.
Okay.
So the first two, the Guillermo del Toro, were played by
Ron Perlman, right?
Right, Ron
And then
Perlman.
he plays Hellboy in the new one?
Yeah.
Okay.
What's his name? David Harbour does.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know. He's kind of up and coming. Though it seems like he's been around, but I don't know what he did before Stranger Things. That's
I
when
don't
became
either.
aware of him.
When we saw the preview, I was like, who is this guy? Like,
What do you think about it, this trend of making, I mean, I guess they've been doing it for a while, Christmas movies. There must be at least half a dozen horror movies, Silent Night, Deadly
Yeah.
Night, and
Black Christmas. Yeah, there's... it's funny because I actually, when the video store, the Final Cut was going out of business, they had all their DVDs were $1. And so I saw Black Christmas, and I was like, I'd watch it again for $1, whatever. And so I got home and put it in, and I just actually put it in like last week because I was doing my Christmas movie marathon. It's the original.
Oh.
From like 1973 or something like that.
Right.
And I was like, I'm not watching this. I was like, I think they made one in 2006, and I want to say they even made one more recently than that.
Oh, so there's 3 of them.
I think it's like 2020 or 2021.
Oh, wow.
But the one in 2006, I was just going to watch. I saw it, and it was a typical stupid Christmas horror movie, nothing great. But,
Christmas horror, or even Christmas action.
Yeah,
movies,
I guess that's kind of what Violent Night really is. It's not really horror as much
Do you think
as...
people are bored with traditional Christmas movies?
Maybe. I'm not. I watch them every year. So what have you watched for Christmas movies this year? Have you seen anything new?
No, not much. I watched some of the same old things. At least that's what I've started off with this year. There's that new movie with Ryan Reynolds and
Oh, Will Ferrell?
Will Ferrell.
Yeah.
Spirited.
Is that what it's called?
Got 6.6 on IMDb.
That's not bad.
I was a little skeptical about it, but hey, if it's halfway decent, there's always Elf.
Elf, yep, I've watched. I started early this year, so I'm pretty much done. I'm waiting for Home Alone, the original, because that's my favorite of all of them. But I watched Elf. I know Planes, Trains, and Automobiles is technically Thanksgiving, but I always kick it off with that. Elf, Home Alone 2. I just watched Christmas with the Cranks last night. Bad Santa.
Right.
What about Trapped in Paradise? Have you ever seen that?
I think you lent it to me. Isn't that the one with?
Like Nicolas Cage and John Lovitz, Dana Carvey. They're
no,
all
no.
brothers.
I was thinking about the one with what's his name, Alan, and Jamie Lee Curtis and.
Oh, that's Christmas with the Cranks.
All right.
Yeah,
all
yeah.
right.
That's the one I just watched last night.
That one was fun. What's this
I
one
like
that's
that.
up on the board here?
That's not This Is Where I Leave You, is it?
I don't know that one. I haven't seen that movie. Whatever that is, it's a Christmas movie based on her sweater.
It looks like, yeah, absolutely. I hope so.
I've tried to watch. They used to at the library. They used to go and pull out all the Christmas movies, but they couldn't even pull out all their Christmas movies. I don't think they're aware of
How many they
all of them.
have? Or,
Yeah, they've got a lot, and they've got some offbeat ones over there too. I don't know. I'm trying to think of what some of them would be, but I mean, I've been watching a lot of different ones. They've got the traditional ones going to be playing at the Classic Wednesdays at the theater here. So Elf is playing this Wednesday.
This week, right? Okay.
And then I forget what the order is. They've got Wonderful Life and White Christmas coming up.
Okay.
So that's the next 3 weeks on classics. You can see some of the classic Christmas movies. Have you seen those? Have you seen White Christmas?
I don't think I've seen White Christmas. I saw It's a Wonderful Life a long time ago when I was in school.
Yeah.
And I didn't really care for it. It's kind of long and more drama than I'm...
I like it, but I've seen it a lot. So
Yeah.
it's kind of like, it doesn't really have the effect.
Well, what about A Christmas Story?
Christmas Story. That's fun too, but see, I've seen that a bazillion times.
Overplayed. I mean,
Oh,
what is
yeah.
it, 24 hours nonstop on like TNT or TBS or something like that every year?
Right.
You know, I mean, it's just... And I honestly, I didn't like it to begin with. You know, and now on top of it, it's just like nonstop. That channel, it just plays that 24 hours. And it's like, okay, I'll just... Oh, what about The Ref? You've seen The Ref, right?
Oh, you know what? You lent it to me, and I think I saw part of it, and I didn't get to see the end of it.
Okay, because I just watched that recently. That actually gets pretty high. I think you got like a 6.9 on IMDb.
Yeah?
Yeah, which I was kind of surprised.
What about some of these new Hallmark ones? Do you see any of those that really like jump out at you?
There's a new one that they were promoting on IMDb, and I haven't gotten a chance to see it yet. I think it just came out this past weekend because one of my friends on Facebook posted that she had watched it and she really enjoyed it. I don't even remember what it's called, but I have watched a couple of the classic cartoons. I watched Charlie Brown Christmas and how Dr. Seuss's How the Grinch Stole Christmas, which I haven't seen that in a while.
What about Rudolph?
I have Rudolph, but I haven't seen it. Or Santa Claus is Coming to Town. I haven't watched either one of those yet. I started to watch like the live action Grinch with Benedict Cumberbatch,
Oh,
and that wasn't very good. So I didn't get too very far. Well, what about the one with Jim Carrey? Did you like the one with Jim Carrey?
no, not that much.
I didn't really care for it either. What about?
Why? I wonder why. It was directed by Ron Howard.
I think it's because most people are like used to like a 30-minute Grinch movie, and now it's like 2 hours. Like,
It was too much.
yeah, it was just way too long.
And Jim Carrey can be obnoxious too.
Yeah,
can get-
absolutely.
Or we could say he used to be obnoxious. He doesn't tend to make those type of comedies anymore, those over-the-top characters.
He doesn't really seem like he's doing a whole lot acting-wise anymore.
He's actually a pretty decent actor. I kind of like him when he
I
plays
agree.
straight.
Yeah.
Which is the same thing I said about Robin Williams. Did he ever make a Christmas movie? He must have. A Robin Williams Christmas
He must have, yeah. I don't know. That's a good question.
Huh. Trivia question for you.
Let's take
Name a Robin Williams Christmas movie.
take a look. What about Polar Express?
That's a pretty interesting movie. It was a little, the animation on it was a little disconcerting when it first came out, but it's actually a very good movie.
I thought it was actually a pretty good
It's
movie
really
as well.
pretty cool. I've got it somewhere because I bought it for my son when he was little. So yeah, we've got that somewhere. I have a Nightmare Before Christmas. I like to watch that too.
Okay, so I haven't seen it, but it's called A Merry Friggin' Christmas.
Wow.
So
You gonna check out, see what it gets on IMDb?
I'm gonna kind of take a look at this. It gets a 5.1. Joel McHale, Lauren Graham, Clark Duke, Oliver Platt,
It's got some decent people.
Candice Bergen, and Robin Williams. Let's see.
Merry friggin' Christmas.
Boyd Mitchell and his family must spend Christmas with his estranged family of misfits. Upon realizing that he left all his son's gifts at home, he hits the road with his dad in an attempt to make the 8-hour round trip before sunrise. I mean, 5.1, I'm probably going to pass, you know. But yes, he is in the Christmas movie, apparently, so.
What about National Lampoons?
Oh, yeah, I watched that recently.
You like that one?
I do.
It's pretty funny.
It is.
I thought that was playing at the Classics night, but it couldn't have because they just played Les Mis because I saw it last week.
I was going to say, I'm surprised it's not, because that's really considered a classic Christmas movie.
Right.
But it's fun. I mean, I can see how people will get tired of it after a while. But I like Chevy Chase. I think he's really great, you know. I loved him in Caddyshack. Yeah, great. A good schmuck in Caddyshack.
Yeah, I think it's a fun movie. Again, like you say, I mean, some of these movies, how many times can you watch them? It feels like sometimes you've watched A Wonderful Life, and then it seems like you're going to watch it again this year. It's like, didn't I just watch that movie? And I did within the past couple of years for our show. I think I watched it again. I think it is. It's a great movie, but how many times can you watch it?
Yeah, no, I agree.
You know, one of my favorites is, I mention this all the time, so if you watch this show, you're going to know. One of my favorite movies is The Bishop's Wife with Cary Grant.
Okay,
I think it's Deborah Kerr and David Niven.
Still haven't seen it.
One of my favorites, and they remade it with Denzel Washington and
Whitney Houston, right? Called The Preacher's Wife.
And I think the library's got. I think I'm going to take that out this year.
I would watch that. I think I would watch that.
I'm currently watching Ghostbusters and Ghostbusters 2.
Really?
I got them out of the library. I've been meaning to see them. I haven't seen them since they came out.
I actually
they're a little like silly, but they move, you know. And one of the things I forgot about these movies is the PG movies back in the day. It's a little dirty. There's a lot of like innuendos and you know,
I haven't seen.
It's not a kids movie.
God, I haven't seen Ghostbusters in a long time. But I was talking to one of my friends who actually works at the Opera House, and he thought that Afterlife was actually pretty good. Have you seen that one?
No. But everything I've heard, word of mouth is real good on that movie.
Yeah, because I think he said Paul Rudd's in it. I think Bill Murray's like, I don't know if they just have cameos or.
I'm gonna see it after that's one of the reasons I took out the first two is I wanted to see those. I think I'm gonna watch the Ghostbusters with all the women. With
He didn't care for that one as much.
No, I don't think a lot of people did, but it's got Melissa McCarthy in it, and I don't know about you. I'm kind of like I like Melissa McCarthy. I think she's more talented than the films she's in.
Is that a lot of like the Bridesmaid cast in that?
I think it is. I think it's that same group.
Kristen Wiig.
Kristen Wiig.
That's what I thought. I haven't seen that, but they seem like they have good chemistry.
Yeah.
It seems like everything they do ends up being pretty popular.
How bad can it be compared to the other Ghostbusters? I mean,
I thought Ghostbusters 2 was pretty bad. You know, I don't know. Have you?
I've started it.
Okay.
I just started it last night, and I probably got a half an hour into it when my friend called. So.
Because I feel, doesn't it start off with they're like doing like a Christmas or birthday party or something, and then they all start chanting like He-Man or something?
Right. Yeah.
I remember that. I don't know why, because I was a kid when I saw it.
The special effects are a little like
dated.
In the first one, it's a little dated. It's kind of like claymation, you know. Which I don't know. I'm not really that picky. It's kind of like if a movie's old, I'm not going to pick on their special effects because that's what they had.
That's exactly. They did the best with what they had. You know.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. How do you enjoy like black and white movies? Do you don't watch?
No, black and whites. Any movies that I have to read, which kind of Black Panther. I didn't really see that coming. That a lot of that was actually.
Subtitled.
Yeah, I didn't realize that because the bad guy like didn't speak the native.
Right.
And so that was a lot more reading than I expected. But it's still I still liked it. You know, I definitely I would like to see it again. The first half that I missed.
Right. Yeah, we're still waiting on the Banshees of Inisherin. That's coming.
I
out.
still can't. Oh, by the way, I was going to mention to Colin. Unfortunately, he's not here this week. The Whale, Friday night, Claremont.
Oh, right.
You know, December 9th. I want to say it was Claremont.
It is men's night for shopping here in Bellows Falls. I don't know what that means.
That's
but-
is that this? I think ladies' night's this Friday,
Oh, all right. So
and I think men's night's next Friday.
the next one. Okay.
Because I know there's like wine tasting.
Oh, you're probably right because I read the PSA on the radio. Yeah.
All right.
I don't know why I was thinking it was this weekend. All right, that's cool. So we won't miss men's night. Not that I was going to buy all that much, but
I am gonna look and see where exactly.
so we'll plan on doing the whale on Friday. We'll have to tell Colin. So yeah, I'm also looking forward to the Fablemans, which is supposed to be coming out soon. Word of mouth is real good on that. Got one of my favorite actors, Paul Dano. Yeah, that's a Steven Spielberg movie, which
about like his childhood, right?
Steven Spielberg's
Yeah.
childhood. Oh, I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
It's like autobiographical. I just watched a Steven Spielberg movie that I didn't realize was his for the longest time. War of the Worlds.
Yeah, I like that better than I expected.
Yeah,
I didn't really expect much. I thought it was just,
not bad.
because I mean, I thought the special effects were great, and I like Tom Cruise. We talk about it all the time. He gets all the great roles anyway. So
He needs another role outside of. I was reading something about him, and they said he's kind of settled into this action hero mode. So I think he'll get tired of it sooner or later. He's going to challenge himself with some kind of a dramatic role. So his manager, if he's on the ball at all, will grab something for him, something good for Tom Cruise. I don't know, some of these guys that were big stars, we were just saying this about Bruce Willis, in case people don't know out there, I suppose it makes the headlines and everything, but he's retired from acting because he's got some kind of a brain disorder. I think they said it was, I can't remember what they called it.
you told me what it was right before we came in.
I know.
I don't remember.
I've got some kind of a brain thing going on here. Anyway, where he can't remember words anymore, can't place people's faces anymore.
That's sad because he really was, for a while, right up there with one of the biggest action stars of
Yeah.
all time. Like him and like Mel Gibson,
Sylvester Stallone.
Stallone, yep, Schwarzenegger, I mean, Tom Cruise recently, like, because he did a lot of drama, like, when he first got big, even like, The Color of Money, that's drama, Rain Man's drama.
Right, yeah.
Even, what's Not Coming Home, but the other one.
Yeah, Born on the 4th
Born
of
on the
July.
4th of July, I mean, he did a lot of drama. Even Jerry Maguire was more drama.
What was the one? Didn't he do one with Nicole Kidman and he had an Australian accent?
Oh, Far and Away.
Oh, yeah, they dumped on that, but I thought he was actually really good.
Was he? I just saw pieces of it when I was a child, and I didn't care for it too much. I think was that Ron Howard?
I think it was.
I think it was, And then they did Eyes Wide Shut, which I've only seen part of that, but that was definitely drama / like psychological thriller kind of.
It's a strange movie.
I mean, it's Stanley Kubrick, so I
Right.
mean, and yes, The Whale is Darren Aronofsky. Brendan Fraser has been getting rave reviews. He's supposed to be like a 600-pound super obese like teacher, and he's trying to like reach out to his daughter or something like that. Like,
Right.
Like, I don't know. It doesn't sound like a typical Aronofsky.
I'm not gonna. Yeah, and I'm not like having my expectations too high for this.
No,
movie,
I'm
so
not either.
I'll just go in with an open mind and
I'm just kind of glad to see him back in acting.
yeah.
Because I recently just watched, I think I might have lent it to you, School Ties.
Probably, yeah.
With him and I was just thinking about this the other night because I'm not a big Matt Damon fan, but this is a sign of how good of an actor he is because he was such a great bad person in that movie. Like once he finds out Brendan Fraser's Jewish, he just completely dumps on him and and he was actually really really good in that, and I was really surprised because I'm not a big Matt Damon fan, but yeah, no, I mean he was pretty big, Brendan Fraser for a while, with
Yeah.
The Mummy, like The Mummy 2. That, and then he kind of disappeared for a little while, and then he showed back up for Crash, which everyone in that was pretty much a supporting role. There wasn't really a lead,
Right.
but he was really good. And then they did like The Mummy, like The Emperor's Tomb or something like that with him and Jet Li.
I wasn't a big fan of the Mummy movies. I don't think I liked the special effects. I think
I wasn't either. Even the one Tom Cruise did. I don't know if you saw that or not, but that bombed at the box office.
Yeah, I
big
avoided
time.
it. Got bad reviews.
It did. It was terrible.
Who do you think is like the biggest box office now? The Rock?
Probably. I mean, he's definitely had a few that, like, and Baywatch absolutely tanked. But they went R with that, and I think they kind of knew what they were getting into with it.
I'm trying to think who else is huge. Who else is like a huge name?
I mean,
box office.
Tom Cruise still. I mean, case in point. I mean, they just re-released Maverick.
Right.
You know, so I mean, it's it's still.
Are there up and coming people that are the Hemsworths? I guess they're kind of big.
I mean, Chris Evans, Ryan Reynolds.
Ryan Reynolds,
Deadpool. You know, I mean, he's got some good. Although I watched Red Notice with him and The Rock, that was terrible. And Gal Gadot, however you pronounce her name. I mean, that's three pretty big, famous actors, and I didn't like it. It was awful. I saw it on Netflix.
Yeah, that was kind of the impression I got about it.
Yeah, it got panned pretty bad. But,
Can't win all. You know?
No, but that's pretty much been our show this week.
All right. What should we do next week?
Well, hopefully we'll be talking about the whale.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, that's the plan.
We're gonna introduce you people to the whale next week.
So
and maybe I'll watch some other Aronofsky by then.
I might try to finish Requiem again, but I don't know. I just get to a certain point, I'm done. So I don't know. But this has been our episode of the Best Pictures this week. I'm one of your hosts, Joey Powers.
Hey, I'm Don Tretler, and these are the ones you don't want to miss. I should lend you the fountain. See what you think of that.
Gentlemen, you can't fight in here. This is the war room.
Here's Johnny.
Go ahead. Make my day.
Life moves pretty fast. You don't stop and look around once in a while, you could miss it.